Hey, it's Couch Potato. I'm here for another video, changing the name of the channel to Couch Potato to coincide with my podcast that's coming up and my website that I have that is not yet launched. But I am in 2018. My goal is to get more involved and do more videos and have more content. I would like to say right now that I have a Facebook group and I highly suggest you join it. It is called Video Game Heaven. That's video space game space heaven. And we do a lot of stuff on there, throwing up game of the weeks. I have video game news. Everyone in the group is able to throw up whatever video game related content they want on the Facebook group. And also, everyone is encouraged that they are allowed to, sell or trade games if they feel the need to. So, highly suggest you look up Video Game Heaven for Facebook groups and join it. Look for the logo that has all the old systems on it. You'll see, I think it's a white box with all the old system logos on there. Video Game Heaven, I would join that. Also working on a new podcast. Got a brand new microphone. It's really nice, and I'm working on getting the audio stuff set up, and I'm going to be coming out with that podcast hopefully within the next month or so. So keep an eye out for that. I will also make a video when I launch that to let you know how to listen to it, and we'll get going with that. So in this video, it's going to be my top 10 last generation games, and that's for me personally. So your games might be different. You might not like some of these games, but these are the ones that I like the most from the previous generation. And these are going to be the 5 runner-ups. These are games that should have made the list but weren't quite there. So we'll start with Heavy Rain. Really fun, like cinematic, interactive game. So pretty much you're like playing through a movie and you decide what you want to do, the choices you want to make. Really fun. If you played the Telltale games like The Walking Dead, this is very similar. This really engaging story. It's kind of on the sadder, darker side, but very fun to play. So that's runner-up number 1. Runner-up number 2 is Spec Ops: The Line, an outstanding third-person shooter game for 360. I think it's on PS3 too, but this game I really enjoyed. I played through it twice already, and I plan on playing through it again. The story is very engaging and gripping, and is very dark, but it shows the raw side of war, not the movie stylized side of war. So there's a lot of things in here that are kind of disturbing, but it shows, that war is not all like fun and games and stuff like that. That there's, consequences for your actions, and you're going to see some messed up stuff. But if you like third-person shooters, highly recommend that game. It's underrated in my opinion. Next, we have Fallout 3. Fallout 3, very amazing game. Well done. They have really put their all into this one. It changed from the original 2-game format where it was kind of a turn-based RPG. So this is, free roam, open world. You can do first person or third person. The first person is a little bit better than the third person. Kind of felt like the third person was kind of like an afterthought, or they didn't put as much, effort into it. But the amount of hours you can dump into this game, just exploring and everything, is incredible. It was a game that I spent countless hours with. Next we have Enslaved. Enslaved is another like hidden gem. Not too many people talk about it, but it's a game that everyone should play. It has a very good storyline and a fun gameplay. Sometimes it was a little clunky, but overall really fun. It's just a fun adventure. If you like platformers and adventures, you'll really love this game. And it was very well done. I really enjoyed it. And I plan on playing through it again at some point. And lastly, for the runner ups, we have Fear. Fear is a first person shooter slash horror, survival horror game. So there's like ghosts and stuff that you see, and things pop out and scare you. While it's kind of like a Call of Duty type first person shooter, I really enjoyed this game. I know some people give it a lot of hate, but I really enjoyed this series. It was just a fun, take on a first person shooter where they added the horror elements, and it was very fun to play. So now we get to my actual 10. Now they're not in any specific order. These are just 10 games that, really stood out for last generation of consoles. So first we have Uncharted 3. Most people say Uncharted 2 is their favorite, but the Uncharted 3 storyline to me really engaged me the most, and I really enjoyed it the most. And the gameplay was about the same as, the second one, but what really got me with this one over the second one was the story. I just love the story of, going through the deserts and going back to Drake's childhood and playing as a young Drake and how he kind of became what he is today. Just a really fun Uncharted game in the series. So that really stood out to me. Next, we have Beyond Two Souls, another PS3 exclusive. This game was really well done as well. It doesn't get too much love. I don't really hear too many people talking about it, but boy did I like going through this. It's another like interactive movie type of game, which I love those. I love the Walking Dead series. Anything Telltale makes is pretty good, and this game does not disappoint. You're this girl who has mind powers and stuff like that. There's actually like a spirit, I guess you could say, attached to her, and you use the spirit to help you, unlock doors or unblock passages or control people. It's just a fun take on, that a type of game. It's very unique. I like the idea that she has like this spirit connected to her, and you got to kind of use it, and there's like limitations of what you can do too. So it's not like you can go buck wild in it, but definitely a game. If you have not played it, I highly recommend giving it a try. Next, we have XCOM, Enemy Within. I love all the games in the XCOM series, but XCOM Enemy Within has to be my favorite. Even though XCOM 2 for Xbox One is very well done, and I like the story for that too, XCOM Enemy Within is just like a complete game in the XCOM series. Just very fun, tactical, turn-based combat type of game. Very heavy on the strategy, and very hard to get through this game without having your soldiers get injured or killed or whatever, depending on what difficulty you play. This can be very challenging, which I love, and I love the strategy aspect of it. Next, we have The Walking Dead. Telltale made an amazing series here. I picked the first one because it kind of set the trend, and I believe it had the best story of the group. And I've played The Walking Dead Season 1 and Season 2 and The New Frontier, and this is still my favorite one by far. You play as Lee, brand new character to the world of The Walking Dead. I've read the comics and watched the show, and this is completely different from either of those. So if you're worried about, seeing the same old thing, it's not going to happen here. This is a brand new story made for the game and very well done. Basically, you're this guy Lee, and you have to protect this girl named Clementine, and you both have to make your way through the zombie apocalypse, and there's a lot of hard choices to make, and you don't have a whole lot of time to make them, which makes it really fun. And the replayability is really high too, because you can go through and make different choices and hopes of getting a different outcome. Next, we have Tomb Raider. This was the reboot of the Tomb Raider series. Very well done. It has, pretty much everything you're looking for in a reboot. Makes better graphics. The gameplay is changed slightly, but still has those Tomb Raider classic elements of, climbing, solving puzzles, stuff like that. Just very well done. This is how reboots are done, right here. The Rise of the Tomb Raider was actually my favorite one, but this set the trend for it and really got the series revamped and rebooted. So I'm looking forward to the next game that's supposed to be coming out in the near future. If you like Tomb Raider games or you like adventure games, definitely pick up Tomb Raider. Or if you only played Uncharted, you got to play the Tomb Raider games too, because they're very similar as far as I'm concerned. Next, we have Saints Row 2. I actually like Saints Row better than Grand Theft Auto. I know a lot of people love Grand Theft Auto, but I think Saints Row is a better game. I think, especially Saints Row 2, I think the comical, crazy, over the topness of this makes it a lot more entertaining, a lot more fun to, to play through. I love the story on this one too. If you play the main storyline, it's really fun to do. Also, you can create your own character, which is always nice. So you have your personal touch on it. And just the craziness of it is what got me. I find Grand Theft Auto, especially Grand Theft Auto 5, to just be too realistic. Or like too, I don't know. It's just too much for me. So Saints Row 2, definitely one of my favorite games of all time, honestly. Next, we have Max Payne 3, another revamp of a older series. Max Payne 3 has an incredible campaign. If you like campaign games and you have not played this, Max Payne 3 is a must play through for a campaign. It is a gripping story, and you really feel like you're in the world and you're in as Max Payne, and just the mechanics of it and the gameplay and everything is just incredible. This game was awesome, and I need to play through it again because I only played through it once, but I definitely need to play through it again. The best part was when you were running through the favelas in Brazil. Just really fun and immersive. Next, you have Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. Another kind of like underrated, underappreciated game. Unfortunately, the studio that made this shut down, so you won't be getting another one of these, at least not anytime soon. But a famous author of like fantasy books wrote the story for this. So, and Todd McFarlane, I believe, Todd McFarlane helped with the art direction on it as well. So you got good quality here. And very fun RPG to play. It's an action RPG, and you can choose from, total different paths that you want to take and how you want to play your character. And the story is just so engaging and gripping that, it deserves at least one playthrough. And it's another game that I want to play through again. Next, we have Gears of War 2. Gears of War, incredible series. The second one is, in my opinion, the best of the whole lot. Just a very good story, campaign, and fun to play. It's just fun to just blast your way through this. And you can even play with a friend, I believe. But I played single player. Next, we have Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare. Not much to say here. Everyone knows what this game is. It's the best Call of Duty in my opinion. and the most hours I've spent on a video game period was on Call of Duty 4. And watching my brother play competitively too was always fun. But man, this game was incredible, and unfortunately they've really gone downhill since Modern Warfare 2, which came out after this, which was amazing as well. But Call of Duty 4 by far the best, and the amount of people that played this game, and this game was talked about so much back then that it was ridiculous. Like, everyone and their grandma and their pet monkey was playing this. Like, it was ridiculous, the amount of people that played this game. So that's all my favorites from last generation. Like I said, join my Facebook group, Video Game Heaven, and keep an ear out or an eye out for my podcast, which will be coming within the next month or so once I get everything set up. And hopefully we can bring you a lot more, or I can bring you a lot more content and keep this channel going as well. So stay tuned for the next video. One love.